Welcome. Throughout this journey, you will learn how to remain focused on your goals and achieve true peace with your inner saboteur. Lesson 1. Imagine your best self. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Are you the recipient of a Nobel Prize? Are you shaking hands with the president? Are you the president? You must envision your goals clearly in order to better understand.
Excuse me, Doctor, your 2 o'clock is here.
Make for yourself. Send her in. I swear, I wish I could get at least a full hour of peace before I see the next person. I do hope these tapes I recommended have been helpful.
Hi, Doctor. I'm sorry for scheduling an extra session this week. I just had a bit of a crisis.
It's no problem, Daisy. Tell me, is there something that triggered your crisis?
So I was having lunch with my family the other day, and my sister brought up that there was this potential cool opportunity for me that was brought up by her boss. She's in radio, and she's mentioned before how I'm a voice actor and that I do some paid stuff online. So she asked if I had anything I could send her, like a demo.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. Some of the best paths open to us from the most unexpected doorways. But you did mention this was an emergency, so what happened next?
Well, that's the thing. How am I supposed to open the door if I don't have the key?
Meaning?
I don't have a demo yet.
Ah, I see. And what did you tell your sister?
I said I've been working on some things, but I didn't have a real demo ready just yet. That I'd get back to her.
Okay, good. You bought yourself some time. You can compile a sample reel of sorts from snippets of your previous work.
But what if I'm not proud of what I've done yet? If I don't want to show that work? Not proud enough to even consider a demo the next step I should take?
That is an interesting question. Why wouldn't you be proud of your work? Wasn't it your goal to get paid for your talents?
Yes, but not like this.
All right, let's take it one step at a time. Why did you start voice acting?
We went over this in our first session. Because I've always had fun acting in school, and cartoons and anime are my favorite medium of entertainment.
Great. And what are your voice acting goals?
To be in a popular cartoon, one that my little brother might see and recognize me. Or my future nieces and nephews, eventually my kids.
And so, here's another question. Is anything you do in your pursuit of that dream meaningless?
What?
Well, you're saying that you aren't proud of the work you do now. Last you updated me, you were working with a few regular clients on Fiverr, doing mostly presentation narrations and ad reads. Is that not a big step towards your dream? Is it just a tiny blip in your course?
I mean, it's great that I'm earning money, but it's just the same old stuff. It's not exciting. It's beyond mundane. Most of the scripts I read have typos and improper grammar that I have to fix on the fly.
But I remember you brought up during our first session how you would consider getting paid for anything you voiced in a milestone. Is that not the case anymore?
It is, but it's really not that big of a deal.
Getting paid for something your family had little faith in is not a big deal?
Well, when you put it that way.
I think I see what's going on.
It's not what I want. It's not what I've always told them I want to do. It's not cartoons or even audiobooks. It's not anything they would really bother listening to.
Have you played any of these audios for your family at all?
I did at the beginning, but they barely paid attention. I just think they won't pay much mind unless it's something really flashy and big. And I get paid a ton of money for it.
Okay, so let's look at this another way. If you're not proud of what you're doing now, what are you doing to change that?
Well, I'm auditioning for any projects I find interesting. I've done some upgrades to my recording equipment and booth.
Have you taken any classes?
I did a workshop a year ago. Do I really need to take another one? I already did theater in high school. I'm pretty sure I know how to act.
It's more than just acting. You're specifically using your voice alone for this, so it's very important to learn to control and take care of your instrument.
Okay. I'll look into it and see what I can find.
Now, don't let anything super expensive that can promise you work in a demo fool you. Look for something reputable.
Will do.
And Daisy, it's okay if you're in a bit of a slump right now. It's part of any profession. We don't always do things we enjoy consistently, but you have to work hard and put in the effort. Patience is key. Then you will find those opportunities you will want to scream to the heavens about.
You really think so?
I know so. What you're doing now is already a big accomplishment, and absolutely something you should be proud of, even if it's not what you had in mind yet. What I recommend is using some of the material you've auditioned with as a sample reel, or you can create one after you take some classes and improve on your character work.
I like that option better. I thought I was ready and the opportunities just weren't coming to me. Should have tried harder.
It's not your fault. This industry doesn't exactly have a manual on how to get started. Everyone finds their own way somehow. I know that from experience.
Okay, Doc. Thanks so much for seeing me and making me feel a little better about this. I guess I just needed a little reassurance that what I was feeling wasn't wrong.
It's never a problem. And Daisy, you can forget about those tapes I gave you. I have something that might help you better.
Cold Read the Podcast, the extended cuts. Okay.
Same time later this week?
Of course. See you then.
Lesson 2. What is your ultimate prize? Imagine yourself looking at it, holding it, driving it. This isn't really doing it for me anymore. Let's see what the Cold Read gang has been up to.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you again, Misty, for a wonderful intro. As you all heard, welcome to Cold Read the Podcast. Podcast for voice actors by voice actors. Thanks for being here. Thanks for those of you that are here. Thanks that are attending the live recording. We do this on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Zamoody every noon Pacific time. You guys come on in. You can ask your questions. You can give us, chats or ideas, or even if you don't, if you're not here, if you still want to talk to us or give us any ideas, you can email us, coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com, or you can use the link in the description to join our Discord. And we are always around and welcoming questions and would love to hear from you. So please feel free to take advantage of one of those opportunities. Intro that we heard was by Misty. Thank you. Another entry with did we hear a name for the main character? Was it
the doctor? It's just the doctor.
Daisy. Yeah.
Yeah, Daisy's like one of the patients, but the doctor's like the recurring.
yeah. So I heard the name Daisy, so that's a little bit more that's growing into that particular world. So thank you for that.
Lore.
The
this
lore.
is where we find out that this office is actually in the same universe as Eldurrino's one, and there is literally just a teddy bear like zombie apocalypse happening outside.
Oh god!
Specifically. And this is like this pocket, like this pocket dimension, like area that Misty has just sort of cordoned off. This is Zen, wonderful area that is like away from it all.
Man, the ideas that just popped in my head. The doctor can talk to Renara from Cold Read while Renara was all trapped and. Wow.
So I guess we're just doing what everybody's doing these days and creating Cold Read the multiverse.
That could happen.
No.
It needs to happen, guys. We've got to figure this out somehow. We've got to link them all together.
We'll talk. Little did you know this was the plan the whole time. Sorry. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Welcome. So as we do every week, let's go ahead and check in with our other voice actors and see what everybody has been up to. So we'll start with the other side of the world. I don't think things are as crazy over in England as they are in the U.S., but...
Well, I mean... if you're talking about the other thing that's kind of starting to sweep across the world, the monkeypox thing.
Monkeypox.
Yeah. The thing is, us British people have done the stiff upper lip type thing of, well, it's not affecting like hundreds of people, so we'll be fine. It's fine. Sweating slightly. Like the BBC has kind of done things where it's like, should we be concerned? Probably not. But list all these things why you should be. And it's just in a really calm tone. And I'm just sort of there going, I have no idea what this is. I am just going to back away slowly and keep my students away from me at arm's reach. No,
Sounds like they're pulling a WebMD on everyone. Like, oh, your arm itches? You probably have cancer.
You'll be fine. I will still have to go to work even if I worked through COVID, I'll be working through this as well. No, I mean, on the side of like voice acting stuff, it's kind of been just very mellow, kind of. I've been working on not only something for something else, which I don't want to talk about too much at the minute, but I've been working on and sprucing up my Patreon account. In other words, I have set up a Patreon, and I will be making a video sort of talking about it and explaining it on my YouTube channel, hopefully in the next couple of days. But I will do a tiny small thing of it. Literally only has one tier. It's £2, which I think is $3 in America, and it's like, if you want to look at it, if you want to check it out, that's cool, that's fine. But if not, no pressure. I'm being stereotypically British and awkward and have no idea how to do this. So I'm going to leave that there. I've just been sort of slowly but surely working on small things here, there, and everywhere.
Good. You're just kind of doing a setup for this.
Yes.
So, I'm glad to see that you're reaching out for some support, even though you're not directly saying, please help me out. I will say, if you have an opportunity, please follow the link that you're going to find in the description of this video to Renara's Patreon, and just go ahead and check it out. And if you got a couple bucks to help out Renara, that would be much appreciated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to awkwardly drink now and hide in the corner whilst the rest of you do
Oh no! Stop it!
New project idea: teach people how to shill themselves. Sign Renara up.
And for those that want to see Renara just kind of like shriveling in the corner, please join us on YouTube or come on in one live recording. Well, thank you for being here, Renara. Appreciate it, and hopefully things start going more your way. And yeah,
who knows?
Help Renara, please. On closer to home, Misty, how has your week been? I know you've been. I've seen you doing a lot of Life is Strange 2 on Twitch, twitch.tv/Misty Rose.
98.
98.
Yes.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
Yes, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. So I'm almost done with that. I think, yeah, the final episode. That's the last episode I'm going to stream from my console. I really miss having my little avatar there. It's just, I can only do that from PC. So I'm excited to get back to my PC once this game's done. And I'm still playing some Evil Dead.
Nice.
It's been fun.
Yay.
Still haven't beat the missions because I'm terrible. I have no checkpoints. That's brutal. I hate that, but
I've heard that game is pretty tough, especially on the survivor side.
Oh, but it's challenging. It's fun. They've upgraded. They did a whole patch recently, so that should be fixed. But mostly it's just been non-voice acting stuff I've been stressing about this week. Gearing into next month. Next month's just going to be intense with a lot of stuff, but hoping that I get some good news, and with I'll keep trying to set time to audition for voices and 1, 2, 3 and stuff like that. And the intro was also like a way for me to sort of put out what I've been feeling on and off, sort of, because I've been stuck in the rut of just Fiverr and other stuff, and it's like, but it'll get there.
I am just gonna say, if your family aren't too nonplussed, you don't need validation from them to continuously do what you're doing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, true.
Like they're like, oh, you're cool, you're getting paid for it, but still, it's like, this isn't like something you can like realistically do with your life. You know that, right? You should go to college. It's like,
and then that's the point when you kind of go, okay,
hold the fucking phone.
Yeah,
there are people that, like me, that grew up playing video games and are now making hundreds of thousands of dollars playing video games. So parents, suck it.
True. I mean, literally the first day I arrived in Houston, we were in the car from the airport, and it's like, so I mean, you really should think about college. I mean, it's like, I just got here.
So, yeah, and you know, family can be rough. I mean, I don't. I've been very lucky. My family has been very supportive. My wife has been very patient and very supportive. But I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat when it comes to my mom and my brother. Like, you know, it's something that you do. It's nothing that's going to pay the bills. But I understand where you're coming from. Don't let them get to you. I mean, honestly,
Yes.
you've gotten very far. You've gotten further than everybody else in this chat. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
When
No,
it comes
it's
to
true.
earnings, when it comes, you've got the most experience out of this whole group. By the way, I missed an opportunity because it took too long for me to do this, but you guys wanted a record scratch, so there you go.
Yes.
So yeah, no, you know what? It's your family, and I totally understand. And don't get me wrong. I know that when it comes to wanting their support and everything else, but you know what? Fuck them. Sorry, but
See, exactly.
You
Please.
are. It's your life, and no one, not even family, friends, or closest people to you, will be able to tell you how to live your life. You are the only beholden to yourself in that regard. So stop being mean to Misty, because we like Misty. So stop being mean to her.
and you know what? If they want you to go to college and get yourself into debt, that's not really the way to move forward. If they want to pay for it and they're offering it for free, then that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But if they want you to fit, because it's a lot of money to go to college right now. Trust me, I got two kids that just graduated high school. We're looking into that crap, and it's not going to be easy. So, yeah. Well, regardless. Anything else, Misty? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go into a rant there.
Hey, it's all good. Honestly, it's just hopefully I'll have more of these next week in terms of voice acting stuff. I'm not sure when they're gonna announce the thing I auditioned for, the opportunity to be heard by agents. I'm not sure, but
Oh, right,
we'll see.
right.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
will be soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, good luck to you, and we hope for the best in that. I promise not to cock block you this week, Eldurrino. That was your week, sir. Oh, by the way, for me, oh, never mind. Sorry, I'm kidding.
Oh, Eldurrino's face. Oh no.
Sorry, I had to make a clip for TikTok. I'm sorry.
So it's gonna be one of those episodes, guys. Okay, I see how.
Yeah,
this
within
is
the
going.
first 20 minutes of the episode, we've already got like 3 really good clips.
Yeah.
It's chaos. We are the
my
chaos
week-
spirit. That's right.
My week actually was kind of all over the place. It was good certain areas, bad in others. I'm going to start with the bad first,
Okay.
and then the good will help lift everyone else's spirits.
Okay.
So the bad thing is, as I've stated before, I was working on this project that I wasn't really enjoying myself in. I was putting a lot of time into it. I was having to speak with a very rough, deep grasp voice, and it was a lot of dialogue. It was over 1,100 words of
Holy
dialogue
shit.
in that voice. And you know, when you do these type of things, you want to provide at least like 2 to 3 takes, which I was trying to do. And it was hard. It was very difficult to stay consistent with that. I'm comfortable with that voice, but like just I don't know, there's a lot of nuances to it. In any case, so I finished it up, and I estimated it was probably about 9 to 10 hours in recording and then editing later. And so I sent it over, and I said, you know, hey, here's my lines. Also, the 2 other characters that you were like considering me for, I'm gonna decline just because I don't feel like I'm gonna have enough time to commit to those characters.
Okay.
They're like, okay, payment for your lines has been sent. You know, best of luck. And then immediately after, I found out that the role that I had just submitted my lines for was recast. So I'm assuming that it was meant to be a long-term character that they are going to, you know, need someone else for. I did not specifically say that I did not want to continue this role. I just said that I can't accept any more roles. However, I'm just going to kind of roll with it because I don't want to be a part of the project anymore. Just because like I said, wasn't enjoying it, wasn't having any type of fun. It was more of a slog than anything. So kind of crappy. However, The wonderful Princess Pashley. Sorry, Zamoody, do you want to fill? I need to answer a call. Real
Yeah, no
quick.
problem. Absolutely. Well, and again, this is not going to be considered a block because I'm just going to go into what my particular week is because it's not really going to take too long. So as I mentioned last week, my kids both graduated high school. They both did it on Wednesday. I'm super proud of them. Immediately, right at that night, I started running a fever. So I got myself sick somehow to the point where the headache was there, the illness was there, and it was just, I couldn't even get out of bed. And I feel really bad because, work only had me for 2 days, and I've just recently been sick with bronchitis and stuff. And I honestly don't know what's going to happen when I walk in on Monday. Lo and behold, I come to find out my daughter, who generally tends to stay with her partner, is coming home today, and she is very sick. So we're going to see what's going to happen. And I have not had a chance to do anything when it comes to voice acting. So that's pretty much mine. So let's throw it back to Dorino. I see that you're back.
Yes, sorry about that.
No worries.
The good news is that the wonderful Princess Pashley saw that there was a tweet from someone about a Twitch alert that they were looking to have a voice actor for, and so she recommended me for it, and it was supposed to be an impression of Patchy the Pirate from SpongeBob, doing the theme song, but with different lyrics because it was meant to be a parody. So after a while, they finally got back to me, said, yes, we'd like to proceed with you. Initially, unpaid. I got in the booth, I recorded it. It took me half an hour with editing and whatnot. So I sent it over, and they were like, that was like the best thing that we've ever heard. And so they were like, we scrounged together a bit of money. Can you please send us your PayPal?
Oh,
I was like, okay, sure. I'll take a few extra bucks, like $10, whatever.
yeah.
All of a sudden, my girlfriend looks at my phone and says, they just sent you $50. I was like, what?
Wow.
I literally did 30 minutes of work, and I even told them, this is like way more generous than anyone has ever been. And they're like, look, if you at least put in like half an hour of work into it, then yeah, you deserve to be paid for that.
Wow.
So moral of the story is, don't ever be afraid to do stuff, because you can turn a paid or an unpaid project into a paid project.
Yeah.
As I did.
Yeah.
So that was definitely the excitement of the week, aside from the new season of Stranger Things, which is amazing.
Yes, okay.
It has been awesome.
I have been trying so hard not to binge it, because it's only 7 episodes, and the last one is going to be released in July or whatnot. And I'm already 5 episodes in out of 7, so clearly that's going well.
I have not watched a single other episode of Stranger Things since season 1.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
If you like the whole premise and idea of the show,
I'm not gonna. I don't know why I didn't stop and watch the rest of
yeah.
it.
I'm not gonna attempt to hype it up for you.
No.
I'm just going to say it is very much worth watching. You will not waste your time.
I have seen that Vecna has made its return. It's like, because Critical Role tweeted about it, and Matt Mercer was like, "I never said where Vecna went." And then after, if anyone out there knows about Critical Role, Vecna was the main big bad guy for season 1 of Critical Role, and then they banished him, and now he's turned up in Stranger Things. So now I'm kind of going, maybe I should go see that.
That's really cool. I like how that kind of stuff connects over.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's funny that you don't have time for Stranger Things, but doesn't Critical Role have like hundreds and hundreds of hours of...
Yeah, because I have it playing whilst I'm editing.
Okay.
So I'm multitasking, Zamoody.
Okay.
To be
No, well, and it's the funny thing is this is what I normally watch with my daughter. If season 1 came out, I watched it with her. When 2 and 3 came out, we binged it in like a day. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that later when she comes home. So I've not watched anything. I've been completely spoiler free. So I'm gonna try to keep it absolutely that way. And I'm super hyped about watching it. The one thing I've always liked about that show, though, is I grew up watching 90s TV a lot, and when even the intro and everything else in the first season just reminded me of like Stephen King mini series, and that's what hooked me to watching the show. So I've always been a fan. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, with all of that said and done, and you know what, Eldurrino, I kind of have to comment on when it comes to this whole. You put in a shit ton of time on that one particular project, and I don't know if it was a miscommunication or anything, but you know what? I think it's kind of a blessing that it went.
It is.
Yeah, that it went the way
Like,
that it is.
Yeah, and I was even expressing my concern to my girlfriend about it, just because, like, I generally can deal with rejection, but this was a new experience of I just put in all this work and it was almost for nothing. Like, yes, I got paid for it still, but like I can't say my name is going to be in this project anymore.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like part of it, yes, was a miscommunication in that I didn't maybe explicitly say that I could still do the character. But yeah, like you just said, you know, it's a blessing. I didn't really want to be a part of the project anymore anyways, and so yeah.
You know, funny
have to
enough,
do it
it
anymore.
it seems like they're throwing a tantrum over not wanting to do any additional parts.
It just makes me confused because it's like you specifically stated it was no more extra other characters, correct?
I will read to you exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I said, I'm very sorry for the delay on getting you these lines. Also, I am sorry to say that I will not be able to take any more roles on. Unfortunately, I just have too much going on these days that I will not have the time to commit to them. And then please let me know if you need any lines redone. And all they said is, okay, payment sent, best of luck to you.
Yikes.
Now, I can see perhaps where a miscommunication may have gone there.
Yeah.
In the sense of any more roles not specifically stating anything extra, like you.
Yeah.
As a director, I'm putting my director hat on. If I received that email, my immediate reaction is this person can't do anything more for the project because it's been quite vague. And you've simply said any more roles. That could have included the one you've just done. It could, but then again, maybe they could have sent an email to clarify, but maybe they don't have the time. But just from first like literal gut perspective, I can see them reading that as meaning I can't do anything more for this project, full stop. Like
Yeah.
any roles, all roles.
But
So perhaps it might be worth sending an email if you'd like.
no, I
that's fine. Because
I
if
would
you'd
not like.
because if you'd stated that it was any additional roles aside from the one I'm doing, and they'd still done this, then I would have said that's them just being petty. But I can see through the vagueness of all roles how that could be misconstrued. But again, still, it would be nice if they actually talked to you and communicated. But
I mean,
that's
it's
just,
I mean, neither here nor there. And I mean, I can see that it's this is their project. They want to see, they might want to see it move forward even more.
I will say, without getting into details,
Of course.
that the creators of this project, creator rather, been through a very, very, very hard year. As in, it was a husband. Well, no, I'm gonna get into.
You've kind of
details, not
mentioned
just-
that a little before, but yeah.
yeah.
I have, yes, but I'm just trying to do my best to
Yeah,
respect
yeah,
them.
of course.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah, so it's just been very hard for them, and I don't think that the creator is in the mindset of being as flexible as they once were. Because before there was no deadlines, it was just get me these lines when you can, we will pay you. And like if we need you to get it to us faster, we will say something.
Yeah.
And I think now it's just kind of like, here's the deadline, get me the lines, or I'm just gonna recast your role, which is fine. I have no problems with that.
So
but
wait, you
yeah, I
got
mean,
that
again-
message beforehand? Get me your lines, or we'll recast your role.
No, I'm just
okay.
saying that's like what I believe their mindset is now.
Gotcha.
'cause
Gotcha.
It's in the Discord channel for it. They said, you know, like I've been seeing that ever since I restarted this project, nobody's been submitting lines. Do we need to set a deadline? How does June 1st work for everybody, et cetera, et cetera. So again, like I just wanted to get it done, and again, like I was a little disappointed that that I couldn't like put my name on this, but again, like it's fine.
Right.
I got over it pretty quick. I'm not upset about it. I just
Do you know they're not going to use your lines, or?
Well, I mean, they
not?
recast the role.
But
Right.
I mean, maybe the thing is, I can see. I'm only using my project as a hypothetical because I can. It's the only thing I can think of as a template. But say because my actors have submitted their lines and have already submitted their stuff. But say I have stated that it is a long-term project and I need them to come back at some point. If one of them said they couldn't come back, I would still credit them for what they'd done. So because I would have put their stuff in it. So I don't know.
I mean, they never explicitly told me that my lines would not be used. I'm just making that assumption given that immediately after I sent it, they sent out a project update that said, we are looking for another voice actor to play the character that I played. And then they also had like sections for the individual characters where it said like my character was closed and cast to my name. And then when I checked back on it after I'd submitted my lines, that was then set to open, and my name was not on it anymore.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
They did seem to like give that like in the message, since they said best of luck to you, as like implying that like, oh, I guess we'll never speak again.
Like,
We're
I guess.
cutting
Like,
ties.
See you
Yeah,
later.
like wow.
Which is kind of like it's I don't know, a bit weird that they were just willing to kind of sever ties. Like I said that I would not be able to accept any more roles, you know, for now at the very
It's an
least.
emotional response to a professional email is what is the vibe I'm getting, perhaps.
It's just like, because you did mention like it took, because you said like, sorry it took a little while, like it did take a while to submit the lines paired with I'm not going to have as much time. They're thinking, okay, this is going to be a problem, like to them at least. And they did go about it like way too quick, I think, and that like, they should have consulted a bit more with you, but
I mean, it is what it is. Again, I'm not hurt about it just because I was no longer interested in doing the role anyhow.
I think it's more of a
Fair enough.
surprise, right, that it happened the way that it did.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And the only reason that I want to talk about it is because when it comes to these particular roles, is recasting is kind of a thing that can happen often. Although in this particular, having to do all the put in all the work, actually getting paid for it, and then turning around and it not being used, it seems really weird to me. But that's one of the reasons why I did want to bring it up, because it's in this particular world, it's kind of cutthroat. It is kind of, you know, it's obviously their project, their priority. They want to see certain things and they want you committed 100%. And there's some deviation here where, you know, Eldurrino may not have been able to give as much time as he would have wanted, and they saw that as a threat to the project, and you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Which, and again, like, I'm not really upset about it just because I certainly know what my time is worth, 100%. And I'm willing to be flexible about it for the most part, but the rate that I was getting at this was severely undercut. So I'm not going to stress about, you know, putting in 10 hours of work and only receiving like $3 an hour. So
Yeah.
Yep.
No. Okay. All right. Well,
how's your days, Zamoody?
I did kind of talk about my days. The only thing I didn't mention is I did the table read for Energies with Honeyham Productions last Sunday, and that was a ball. That was really interesting to see where the project is evolving. This thing has a theme song, which sounds awesome, right?
Okay.
Hell yeah.
The artist is good. They've got merch. This is really turning into a whole production. It takes them a little bit to get everything up and running, but I need to get in the booth and record those particular lines. Hoping to do that tomorrow once everything gets a little quiet. Because it's been an interesting week, but that was a ton of fun. That was nice to be able to sit down and listen to everybody and how excited the director and the creator were to be in there listening to us do our thing. So
Sure.
Looking forward to it on that particular front. But yeah, wow. Okay. Thankfully, Renara has been super nice and given us a whole bunch of little topics to talk about. So we are heavily, we owe you a coffee or a tea, I should say. I don't know if that's...
English breakfast tea, I would like, thank you. I don't drink coffee.
Right. Sorry, I forget that's just our side of the pond.
Yep.
No,
It's just
well,
Americans.
There's
England does drink
murder.
coffee. We just don't drink it iced because that's a phenomenon that completely confuses us.
Why
Or at
is
the very
that
least, it
strange?
confuses me.
Why is that strange? Please enlighten
Because-
us.
This is my coffee
Because
cup. Does this look like it's iced?
Coffee. Okay, that's fine. It's more like these. I don't know. Iced coffee is confusing. Iced tea confuses me even more, but that might just be because I am stereotypically British. No, I think it's the thing of I just don't go to Starbucks that much, and I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like,
You're smart about it. You're saving a lot of money.
Honestly, yeah.
I
don't blame you.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Hey, Starbucks supports a lot of people, not only with the people that they work with, but all of the delivery drivers. So hey, hats off to Starbucks. If you want to sponsor us, go ahead.
That would be wonderful.
Yes. So diving into the
Very
wonderful world of Reddit and the particular topics that are on here, you found a post by you/the gentleman K.
yes.
Talks about first-time voice directing tips, tricks, and suggestions.
Would you like me to read it?
Oh,
this time,
please.
Zamoody?
Absolutely.
Okay, I
Yay.
feel like that was where we were going. Now, note: I am dyslexic. If I mess up, I apologize.
Yeah,
you're good.
Hi, voice acting, long-time lurker, part-time voice actor, but only on a very amateur level. Brackets, you might have heard me in Hong Kong children's English curriculum or two. Interesting. I have seen those before. However, my regular job has just given me a rare opportunity to do some live work with a few substantial talented voice actors in the industry. I'll be directing them in recording some voiced dialogue for a game that we've been making. I've directed kids theatre, and I have past ideas of how to direct my own voice. Oh, wait, I have a passing idea of how to direct my own voice, but I want to get the most out of our limited time with these actors. And just as importantly, I want to treat them with respect. We all like that. So, can you tell me what you appreciate from a voice director when you are working on a project? Anything I can do to be more clear, more helpful, or at the very least, less frustrating and get the best out of good voice talent? Anything I should absolutely not do? I'm going to
Ooh.
open the floor for this one. Go for it, guys.
So I've been lucky enough to be in a couple of directed ones, and let me take a shot at what you want me to do first without telling me how you want to hear it. Because some people will say, hey, I need you to deliver it, and I just go blah, 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 and that's how I want it. That limits my abilities of what I can do, and I'm going to try to mimic what you want, and I don't think it'll be as genuine as if you would have let me take a crack at it first.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I've only had a one directed session before, where I had the director in my ear, not the other way around. But yeah, no, I agree. I think it's important to be able to deliver what you think is correct, and then go from there. Whether it be like, yeah, that was perfect, or that was almost what we're looking for. To, hey, let's try something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's respectful. It's showing respect. It's showing trust. Like, I want you to take the reins of the character in your hands. I trust you enough to take the reins in your hands. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, because I've only ever done directed. I've never been directed at the moment. I had an opportunity. I auditioned for an opportunity for that, but didn't get it. But I have done directed sessions. I've been in this guy's shoes. The first time I did it, it was interesting because my background is from film and directing, so I just sort of had this thing of, right, because when we're on a project, it is a team built collaboration effort at that point, and you put your trust in your actors and things like that to know the character. That's not your job as the director. Your job as the director is to help direct the avenue that actor's looking down. So I do that. I let the voice actor just do it, their own takes. I let them go for it, and then when they either stop or they ask me a question, that's when I kind of go, right, I liked this part from here, this part from here, this part from here, and give them points, anchor points to reference from, so that they are aware. One thing that I got taught in film school is never say more something or less of something. Use verbs. Use things like
angrier or sadder.
No, not angrier, but angry, sad. Like nothing with er, because that's subjective. Everybody's version of what angrier or sadder is completely different and hard for actors to pinpoint, if that makes sense. So I often give much more context than is necessary. So like if I've given an actor a line and they just go it, and then I go, okay, I like this, but picture this in your head. You've just run down a corridor, you've burst through this person's door, but you've done this, this, and this, and I give the description behind it, and that helps guide.
Yeah.
I don't like saying more gravel in your voice or this. It helps. It helps them to see it so that they can feel it, so that it comes out more natural. And then I found that to be an easier way to direct actors without telling actors that they are like good or bad or not, if that makes sense. It's respectful because you're just giving extra information. I am rambling. I have realized this. Continue,
No, you're good. No, you're. I mean, yeah.
I see that. I see Zamoody's face. I see him reaching for the button.
Yeah, you just played it.
I did.
No, you're setting the scene, which is fantastic. Like I believe I even did that with you in the directed session last year, in that I would give you a scenario to kind of help you get into the head of the character. And that is super invaluable. Like the best thing you could do really is be able to explain the character or the situation fluently. And that was going to lead to what I wanted to say is, as a director, you should know your characters that you're directing in and out. Like if you don't, then that's a problem, because we are taking your instructions and performing it. If you don't know what you want, we don't know what you're looking for. So it just adds a ton of confusion to the situation. He said, I'm sorry. He said worked in. He's directed kids theater, which talking to kids, they're not as experienced in acting, so you do have to kind of make things simple for them and explain things more thoroughly, I guess, than you would a professionally trained actor. So I think he already has the experience that he needs to be a good voice director, as long as he can or they can explain to the voice actor exactly what they're looking for without needing like movement, I guess. Then I honestly think this person will be doing a good job.
I would say because I, as somebody who has worked with children ages 12-ish, I can imagine that's kids theatre. There is an element there is an element of with children, you are explaining things on a very dumbed down level to the point of which you're kind of hoping that they grasp the concept. When it comes to, I think, with just people like us, I think it's in order to, I think with the respect type of thing, it's ask us as actors where we are in our understanding of where we think this character is. And if there's anything extra, give us extra information. Don't assume we know nothing, I think is the best thing. Because with children, you kind of got to assume they absolutely know nothing. And then you explain more. But when it comes to, I think that's the main difference in the sense of directing different age groups. It's figuring out how much one person knows, and then discussing that character, and then sort of go, right, oh, cool, I see where you might have thought that would be how they thought, but in this situation, perhaps they might be a little bit more reserved because of X, Y, and Z, and then you kind of explain more. It's like talking about a friend, almost. Like you're trying to introduce someone to a friend, and you're kind of giving them the backstory to the point, and it's kind of, it's like that. It's like treat the character humanely, I guess. And then you'll end up, ironically, respecting both the actor and the character and yourself and the project as it comes.
Nice. Any thoughts, Misty?
I've only been in one live directed project, and I mean, I could definitely say that one of the tips that someone gave in here, where it's like put the talent at ease and have fun, was really helpful for us, because like before and after each sort of recording session, we just took a time to sort of just talk to each other. The director just sort of like words of encouragement to everyone, just to make it feel more just like a nice environment. And while we were being directed, it's very like, I really, really liked that, like, you could try this like a very more explained different take, and it is different. You could try that. We'll see how that sounds. It's just to give an idea of, like, not doing necessarily anything wrong, just because, of course, like, some people, if this is like their first time, they'll be like, oh, I did something wrong. It's like, oh, we want to try this, and we're going to see how it sounds, so we can have different sort of takes to choose from. And that helps them get more experimental with it, I think.
Just to add a tiny bit to that, of whilst you may have a very strict idea of what you may want in your head, that actor could come up with something completely left field that could be better. So it's kind of trusting the creative process of, whilst you may have an idea, other things might come across that might make it happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say.
Happy little accidents. Yes.
I was gonna
Go ahead.
Sorry, one more thing.
Yeah.
No, I agree with Misty though. I think the comfortability with someone is super important as well. Just because you are more willing to get a better performance out of someone who is very relaxed, very calm, very enthusiastic, versus someone who is very clammed up and nervous and not sure what to do. And going back again to the session that I had with Renara, like, I tried to employ that as best that I could. Like, I was doing my best to give positive words of encouragement. I even went so far as to be aggressive with the positivity. As in, Renara, stop beating yourself up. You are doing a fantastic job, even if you don't see it yourself. But also, like, just respecting their time. Like, I often said, like, we would do 3 to 4 takes on a verse or a chorus. I was like, okay, I think we're headed in the right direction, or I think we have that part down. Do you need a break? Do you need to go to the bathroom? Do you need to get water? Do you need food? Or do you want to keep going? So obviously, when it comes to a session, or I'm sorry, to a studio session, time is, you have a segment of time you have to get your stuff done in, because you're paying for the time. So you may not get that luxury, but when it comes to recording at home, and especially if you're doing kind of a less whatever you want to call it, like a not as high of profile project, just respect your creators or your actors' time.
We are all human.
Recently I had an opportunity of almost recording something for Renara, and I love pretty much what you just said, because you literally gave me about a page and a half of backstory for like 2 lines that you needed me to do, which was great. I was so confused until, like, I read, it's like, so wait, because I think I said it to you. It's like, do you just need me to say this? It's like, that's it. There's this whole so I appreciate all the backstory and everything else. And it was funny. I had to say that for opportunity.
Can I give a?
Please, by all means.
I'll get context is key. So basically, there was a couple of background lines that I had improvised completely myself for this thing, because literally the line in the book was, I think it was something like Selenia heard one woman question another. Now, I didn't realize it said woman, to be quite fair.
This is why I said almost.
Knew I had that thing. So I was like, is anyone available? And then Zamoody said, oh, I'll do it. I was like, oh, we could probably bat it forward. It's fine. So then I wrote out exactly what was happening in the scene for like the whole paragraph of what was happening in the scene in my own words, and then just went, I just need you to say these 2 words.
I was so
And they were
Like an entire lore dump to say hello there.
Context is important.
For the thing that I am currently still trying to write, because I am writing this thing, and the person who is editing this, basically helping create the background stuff for this, I sent, and I'm not even joking, like 2 massive, like a whole page on Discord of lore related to this entire thing, and I was like, this is definitely, like, not all of this definitely needs to get into this, like, at all, but like just so you are aware, like, this is the story. It was just sort of like,
And I do want to say that, like, your script specifically, Ren, like when it is like an improvised line, like you do give like sort of examples of what you think about, which really helps instead of just like, the character is struggling right here. So it's like, as a director, I'm saying also as a director, like if you have a script that has like sort of a little vague, try your best to fill in a little bit or give an idea of what it would be. Otherwise, the actor's just gonna be like,
right. Yeah, we're gonna freeze. And yeah, it's 100%. It's like when you're telling us, well, you be negative or whatever, you don't just like leave it at that, because we're just going to be like,
where do I go from here?
Yeah. You give us just that little tidbit of add-on, so I absolutely appreciate it. Do you guys have the Reddit page open? Because I'd like you to close it while I ask you the next question. Okay. Number 4 was familiarize yourself with VO red terms. This was VObooth.camp that answered this particular one. I want to know if you guys are familiar with these terms, because I am not.
Okay.
If the director gives you a term that says, give that a lift, what does that mean to you?
Okay.
More energy?
Okay.
I was going to say more of a positive outlook on what's going on, perhaps.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'd say more like whatever it is, like whatever emotion you're reading it, like you can go a little better, you can do a little higher than that, more of it.
Yeah, it's slightly added enthusiasm. I would have not have thought of it.
Yeah.
Anything like that. This one's kind of obvious. Put a smile in there.
Oh. Smile, the smile with your mouth so that the sound comes out much like clearer. Yeah.
It really sounds like you're smiling there. You're really having a good.
Well, just smiling as you're recording the lines is going to make you feel more enthusiastic and energetic. So
brighten that phrase / word with a literal smile on your face.
Yeah.
I want this OTT.
Over the top.
I know this one. Hold on. Nope, never mind. I was gonna say out of time.
Okay.
They want it over the top. They want it exaggerated. They want it pushed in acting terms to sort of the 9-10 levels of acting type thing.
No, I have zero idea. But yeah, it's like go. Yeah, so it says literally or over the top, which means just go completely nuts and go over what you would normally.
See, in England, to go over the top is much more of a used phrase, as in, oh, you're being over the top. You're being over the top as a phrase naturally used. So it is. I feel like that might be more English. I don't know. That's just me.
We're gonna have to look at VO Booth Camp or .camp and figure out because it's fun. Lean on that word.
Elongate or add more emphasis onto a certain word in that phrase. So adding more emphasis in areas to make sure the meaning of that word kind of comes out more, something like that. It's like that's the main word in the phrase.
Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
It says simple. It just says simple emphasis.
Oh, okay, I went too much. I went
No,
too much.
simple emphasis on that word, I'd say, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
first.
you were 100% correct. You are putting an emphasis on it. It's just not like, I need to go to the store. It's not like that much emphasis on it.
I mean,
it's more like I need to go to the store. Like you're
I
just
need
out
to go to the store.
Yeah, slight inflection, slightly elongating the word. Yeah, just something to get the listener to listen directly to that thing. Yeah.
Stick that landing.
I'm gonna let you guys go first.
I mean, if it's anything like I think it is, don't fuck up. No, like make sure you're driving the point home. Like if you're in a very dramatic reading, you want the person to just nail it home. Like my brother's in the hospital and I have all these bills and I'm just so stressed out. Just being able to chain that all the way through and being able to say I am stressed out very poignantly. That's what I think it is.
Misty, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good way to think about it. And also, if it's like a landing, it's more like also like final words or like a final line to sort of really emphasize like this is how you're feeling, or to set a tone for that whole line. Like this is how it's gonna. We want it to sound like this overall.
Ren?
So I think it's the whole follow that sentence through right to the very end. Keep that energy flowing through. Don't trail off. Like do I make myself clear rather than do I make myself clear? It's keeping that and momentum all the way through. Maybe adding more like Eldurrino, but it's following it through right to the end. Full stop.
The specific one says downward inflect the last word of a sentence to add confidence.
Oh. Do I make myself clear?
Right.
Like maybe like that.
So it's interesting because I don't know where and again, I'm just going based off of number 4 of that particular post. Yeah. I've never heard most of these terms. So it's interesting. Yeah. Each television director's having their own preferred, work on theirs or teach them yours, but establish a shared direction vocabulary. So it's good advice, and that's generally how you pick up tips and everything else as you're going. I think I read that book, voice actor thing, and that's where I got pickup from, to either use the clicker, use the clap, or use the word pickup, because it's in a very particular wave pattern. That's up and then down and then up again. That it's easy to identify when you're trying to do a correction. Well, I mean, Ren, I feel bad because you put in a whole bunch of time into this, and I think we've only hit one. No, it's great. I'm going to hold on to this.
No, that's the point.
A lot of material.
I'm not complaining.
I was a scout, so be prepared is burned into my brain. So it's the thing of, over prepare, make sure you've got extra stuff so that if you've got stuff later on down the pipeline, it's fine.
No, and I love it. We're gonna hold on to this. Yesterday, as I was driving home, I had a weird thought, and I know we've only got a couple minutes left on the show, but going back to Crown Stag's talk, because I literally thought he was like a therapist to us, and we were just like,
yeah, no kidding.
a little bit.
His point of not finding any agent, but putting yourself out to an agent. The big question to me was still, A, where do you find one? And B, if you're starting out to be an agent, where do you advertise? It's not like you're going to put yourself out there. Really? Is it LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is literally the way they taught it to us in school, because it's fucking burnt into my brain. It's the Facebook world for the professional. So it's literally like profiles of people who are professionally trying to look for other people to work with. It was basically designed to be a Facebook but for professional people. So if you are an agent and you're looking for people, either I guess you go searching or you advertise your services, much like what voice actors do, I guess, in a way. And I think it's quite an individual process. I'm shaking having to look at LinkedIn because I literally just decided I was not going to listen in my IT lessons when they were going on about it. I was like, I do not need this. I am now going, stupid teenage Ren, why didn't you frickin' listen?
It's just funny because I was thinking, if you're like Bob in the Midwest and all of a sudden you decide, hey, I want to be an agent. Where do you go?
Yeah, it seemed like go like LinkedIn would be a good way to sort of get your thing out there.
LinkedIn, or
So we need a website. We need a good LinkedIn profile.
I mean,
Maybe
granted,
Facebook.
There's other sites as well that that are like LinkedIn, but they, you know, they're trying to be competition to LinkedIn, because I think LinkedIn came probably first. It's more for people looking to connect on a work level. And I think there's other ones. I'm struggling right now to remember any of the ones that I've seen, but yeah, I think if you're looking to be an agent, if you're looking to be an agent for voiceover work anyways, yeah, probably do a lot of the stuff online. Although I will say you probably have a little bit more success being in a more populated area than being out in the sticks, just because meeting people in person is important. Being able to go to studios is important. A lot of the bigger companies that are casting the high profile jobs are in more populated cities, as we've talked about. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I think to be an agent is to already have, to be an agent is to have connections.
Yes.
That is the role. So I think a lot of agents are people who simply know where to go in, like, to companies, to places where voice acting meetings are happening, so these knows where to source people from all varying different areas and is acting as that middle point for other people. I honestly would consider Crownstag an agent for me, because sometimes he sends me work, so to a degree that,
And you don't have to pay him.
Oh, wow.
I think when it comes to actual agent, the concept of an agent, that is somebody who I think gets paid by a company, or gets paid per commission by whoever's on their books, to basically source and find jobs and things and liaise. And I think the irony is, I think it's quite a similar job to what we do, but just for different things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're on one side of it, they're in the middle, and then the companies are on the other side, and it's still the looking for connections, finding projects and whatever. Agents are just people who are much more connected than we are. So I think anyone can become an agent.
I was going to say,
my
like,
2 cents on that.
I see it as more of a assistant, or even like, well, not really receptionist, because you're not receiving calls necessarily, but an assistant, you know, is you hire them to do the work that you were just too busy to do. And then that's kind of the point of an agent. They are there to look for jobs for you, and they will just simply take a cut off the top if you get that role. So.
Yep. Yeah, and keep in mind, most agents, not most agents, the good ones, the ones that you want, are the ones that'll get paid when you get paid. You shouldn't have to pay them, so don't go down that road. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate all of your input as always. Renara, thank you so much for putting that. Even if that was, I loved it. Thank you for being our research group for this week. My intro next week. We'll see where we go with that. If you have any topics, or if you want to talk to us in any way, you can email us, ColdReadthePodcast@gmail.com. If you want to go ahead and join our Discord, we're usually in there. We may be playing games. You can come join us. You can come talk to us. The link is always in the description. You know, we would love to hear your audio on the show. We will give you constructive criticism if you have a part that you just got and that you can share with us, or if you want to go for that part and you want that second, third, fourth, fifth opinion, and I'm including all 4 of us, just send it over. We won't bite. We won't do anything. We've done a lot of, you know, we've already talked to other listeners, and hopefully they've been able to move on to bigger and better opportunities. So don't be afraid. We'll be more than happy to take your stuff over. I think that covers everything on the exit. Renara put out a challenge last week, if I remember correctly.
I did. Okay, I would like everyone, and Eldurrino, you cannot say drink water for this one, I'm sorry.
Afterwards you can, though.
Afterwards you can. Everyone needs to give one piece of advice for the audience, and then I'll end it. So one piece of advice from everybody, and then I'll finish. So who's going to go first?
I will say, don't ever give up on yourself. It's a tough world out there. I know that for a fact, and I struggle with it daily, but keep pushing yourself. to be better, to keep being the brilliant individual that you are.
Misty?
Following through with my little intro, sort of everything that you do is important and is valuable, even if maybe you sometimes feel a little discouraged. Everything you do in your quest to achieve your goals is important, and don't undervalue yourself ever.
Following up
Zamoody?
where Misty... Oh, I was getting there, Renara. I will say, fuck the people that are telling you not to do this. And that are doing it for your own good. You do what you want to do, and you move forward with it, and then shove it in their face in the future.
Yes.
And I shall finish off by simply saying, enjoy the journey. Enjoy you going from project to project, learning as you go, because this is a journey. Like, you're going to learn things, you're going to improve, you're going to be awesome. It's going to be so cool. But be patient with yourself, because nobody is going to jump into a AAA game straight off in their first year. You will be absolutely fine. And every single thing you do is just that another bead on the necklace of your legacy.
Love it. Catch you all next time. Thank you for being here. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Drink water.
There it is.